Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate your attendance on a beautiful Thursday night here in St. Bernard Parish. By way of introduction, my name is Dave Gilmore. I'm president of Sperry Van Ness Gilmore Auction and Realty. We are from Kenner, Louisiana, which I know everybody thinks is another country, but it's not. It's right on the other side of New Orleans. So we're local guys. All our folks are born and raised in the greater New Orleans area, and I'd like to introduce them to you real quick. On my left here, the person who looks just like Steve Martin, my business partner, Francis Bro. On his left is my son, Dustin Gilmore. On his left is Pierre Mulladou, and registering everyone right there in the middle is actually the boss, which is Chrissy Brignac. She handles all of our office duties and takes care of registration and kind of keeps us straight. So we're going to go over what it takes to buy at the auction next week on Saturday. I'll answer your questions. We'll go through the bid package and the frequently asked questions and the terms and that type of thing. But I promise I won't keep you too long. I want to get home and watch As the World Turns also. So I don't want to ruin your entire night. It won't take long, I promise. But feel free to ask a question if you like. As I understand it, we are being filmed or videoed and run on channel 76 here, your local access channel, and if you know anybody who couldn't come tonight, it'll be a rerun also again on channel 76, I think a few times between now and the auction on October 4th. All right, at registration, when you came in today, you got a little package. I'm just going to tell you what's in that, and then we're going to hit some of the high points. In there is a property list that you can see, and we also have brochures available for you, which basically has the same exact property list in it. We also have the frequently asked questions, which I'm going to go over in just a few minutes. Beyond that, we've got a copy of the actual purchase agreement for land or for lots that we will ask you to sign if you purchase property at the auction next Saturday. And furthermore, we have a copy of the actual terms and conditions that we will ask you to sign at registration next week before you get your bidder card. So when you come into the auction at before 10 next Saturday, October 4th, we are going to be behind us, or I guess to the left behind us, we'll be in the grand ballroom of the Civic Center, which is behind the Civic Center. You enter from the side. So we'll be open at 8. Registration will start at 8, and the actual auction will start at 10. So you'll know that. Now that you've pre-registered with us, the only thing that you need to get is to come in, show us your deposit, which we'll talk about in just a moment, and we'll get you a bid card. It looks just like that. Actually, you're going to get the card that looks like that. Okay? Make sure you keep that, because that's how we know who you are, and that corresponds to your name and contact information in our computer right there. So you'll get that on Saturday. So we've done the introduction, we've done the auction site and the time. The property list, we talked about that. We'd ask you to review the property list. How many people know exactly what property they want to bid on? All right, so you pretty much know. The ones who don't know, find your property that you like on the list here. If you look at the list and it's not on the list, ladies and gentlemen, because St. Bernard has 1,100 or so properties or more, if it's not on that particular list this time for this auction, you want to see Mr. Kevin Riker. You want to call him at 278-4310. That's his local number here. He's office right next to us right here. And Kevin will put you on the list for potentially the next auction. They maintain a list called Expression of Interest, meaning you call up and you want the property on Judge Perez, lot number 6. They'll put you on the list, and hopefully that will come up for the next event that we do. So if your property is not on the list, please give him a call and make sure you get on that list before you do anything else. All right. The frequently asked questions.
Repeat the phone number.
Phone number, okay. 278-4310. 278-4310. I believe that's the Community Development Department. And just ask for Kevin, and if you don't get him, you'll get Cliff or Ray, or you can leave a voicemail, he'll be happy to get back to you. Great public service. Okay. Frequently asked questions, ladies and gentlemen. The first one is, what do I need to bring to the auction? Now, how many folks want to buy a lot? Okay. If you're going to buy one lot, you got to bring a $1,000 cashier's check, certified check, money order, or cash. If you only want to buy one. If you want to buy more than one, you can buy up to 4, which is another question. You would bring separate checks. Brings $4,000 checks or cash or certified funds. Okay, if you want to buy multiples. So just remember, certified check, cashier's check. You can go to the bank and say, I need a cashier's check. We want you to put your name on it. In other words, have the bank make it out to you. If you don't buy anything on auction day, you can put it right back into your account. It's real easy. If you do buy something, and we'll go through that later on, we'll ask you to endorse the back of the check. And we'll put it in the account of the title company. So $1,000 for lots is all you need. Now folks, if you show up with a personal check, can't let you in. Well, we'll let you in, you just can't get a bid number. Okay? No personal checks, we don't do credit cards. It's got to be certified cashier's check, money order, or cash. So just please pay attention to those rules. Now, anyone here planning to bid on the one improved property at 2001 ACON? No one. Okay. One. All right, one. Sir, you bring a $3,000 check. Same thing. Cash, money order, certified check, cashier's check. We only have one, so you only need to bring one check. Okay. If you want to buy lots, bring $1,000 for the lots that you'd like to do. So it's real simple. How many properties can I purchase? You purchase up to 4 properties, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. It's sort of like 4 per household. That's the limit. Now. One of the other things and I guess I'll talk about it now, you can buy up to 4. Now that doesn't mean 4 for the wife and 4 for the husband. It just means 4. Okay? So, and believe me, we're going to have folks paying attention to that. So you need to make sure it's only 4, or we're going to have to, it'd be like the bartender to cut you off. We don't want to do that. So only 4 properties that you can purchase at the auction. Okay. Reserve prices are minimum bids. Folks, we don't have it. There are no reserve prices. There are no minimum bids. Everything's going to sell next Saturday at absolute sale, regardless of price. We use about $1,000 as a guideline to start. And that's generally what happens. We'll probably get them all started at $1,000 and we'll go up from there. So just remember that. No minimums, no reserves. They all sell to the highest bidder. We'll try and start at $1,000. If we find we can't get a opening bid at $1,000, it'll be $500, and it'll be okay. It's going to work out fine. So don't get nervous and don't worry about reserve prices or minimum bids. All right. We're always asked about, are you going to sell me a pig and a poke with back taxes and grasslands and problems on the title? No, we are not. The parish, the Louisiana Land Trust, they're in charge of all that. They expunge all those, any of those types of liens. You will not get a property with back taxes or any grasslands. Okay, fair enough? Is this a tax sale? No, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a tax sale. These are properties, as you well know, that went through Hurricane Katrina and were purchased by the Louisiana Land Trust Road Home Program. They were deeded over to St. Bernard Parish later on, and now St. Bernard has the job of helping to redevelop the parish and sell these back to you. So they're not tax properties. You're going to get good, free, and clear title on the properties on each one. Okay? Are there any warranties on the properties? No, there are really no warranties. All properties are being sold in as-is, where-is condition for all cash, with closing taking place within 30 calendar days after the auction. Okay, so what we want you to do is make sure that you've gone by the property, walked the property, check the parish records, make sure you satisfy yourself that the zoning is the way you need it to be, that you can build the size house that you want to build there. All that you need to do on your own, because you're getting it just like you see it. It's sort of like the old Arkansas guarantee. Okay? If it breaks in half on the way home, you own both ends of it. So just remember that there is no warranty, and they are being sold to you as is, where is. Okay. Must vacant lots be improved? let me find my, so I can make sure I give you the right, no restrictions or time frames for this auction for the development of lots. However, you will have to comply with property maintenance and code adherence, meaning that you can't let the weeds get to be 4 feet high, because then you're going to have grasslands on the property if you don't cut the grass. So please bear that in mind. You don't have to go build a house in the next 30 days, but you do need to keep the property, okay? Next question, must the home be improved, renovated, or rehabilitated? Yes. In this particular case, purchasers have 60 days on the Aycock Street property to complete exterior renovations and a year to complete construction or rehabilitation of the structure. So it needs some work. It's in pretty good shape, but it still does need some work. And so the parish will be monitoring that. So there are some limitations there. At least you got to start beating and banging and doing some improvement within a short period of time. Okay? All right. How long do I have to close on the purchase? Well, you got 30 days. We talked about that earlier. The contract is a bit nebulous, and I think we should be able to get most of them done within 30 days. The title company will ask you if you can schedule your active sale on Saturday while you're signing your contract. In other words, they're going to say, listen, we need to do it within 30 days. What day is good for you in this particular week? So if you have a pretty good idea of when you can close the deal, schedule that up with them real quick, and so you can take care of your closing and knock it out. But nevertheless, it does need to be within 30 days. Okay. Closing costs. Now, what about closing costs? Who gets to pay those? Well, that's a sort of a good news, bad news story, folks. The bad news is that you guys get to pay. The good news is St. Bernard Parish has negotiated an incredible deal. And believe you me, we do this all the time. And it is really a good deal. So the costs are, and this is in your package, title search of $75, title exam of $125, and a closing cost of $100, closing fee. Then you would be responsible for recording services and fees, which is, you don't know what that is until you actually do it. It won't be a whole lot. And the title insurance fee, which on lower end properties is not that much. So you're going to get into these properties at a relatively easy, affordable situation, in my opinion. We've seen deals that were much more expensive. Now, I don't know if I have a slide for that, but let's talk about it real quick. When we go to the auction, what we're going to do is, folks, we'll show you a slide, a photo of the property. It'll be behind me on the stage. We'll describe it very quickly, which is basically what's in the brochure. We'll talk about the lot and square and how big it is and that type of thing. And then we'll open the bid, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, sold for $6,000, let's say. Okay? As soon as we say sold, we're going to ask you, what's your bidder number? So don't put this in your purse or put it in your back pocket. Have this available. We're going to ask you for that. We're going to put it down. Chrissy's going to put it into the computer, and we're going to send an invoice out to you. We call it a bid confirmation. Okay? It's going to say that you bought property number 201 for $6,000. You look at that, verify that it's right, sign it for us, endorse your check, give it to the clerk. They're going to take the money and the receipt. They're going to take it and bring it in the back of the room, in a separate room where the title companies are, where they're going to do the paperwork. If you want to buy additional properties, you're welcome to stay in the audience and buy up to 4, as we said. If you only want to buy one, you want to take care of your paperwork, get on home so you can go to the Ole Miss LSU game or whoever's playing that weekend, you are welcome to go in the back with the clerk. They'll escort you back there. The title company will take care of your paperwork. You sign it. They'll make a copy for everybody. Deposit's already in the file. Everybody goes home happy. Okay? So that's the mechanics. It's very simple. To be honest with you, it's painless. It only hurts at closing when you got to write a bigger check. So it's going to be easy. We have people that'll help you through the whole process. If you buy more than one, let's say you stay and you buy 4, whenever you're ready, get up, go to the back, you'll see the sign pointing to the contract room of the title companies. You go right in there, you tell them who you are, They'll pull your file, you finish the paperwork, you're all done. So it's a very, very simple process that we take you through. We try to make it as painless as possible. So that's kind of how we do it. And that'll give you an idea on the closing costs. All right. Can I assign my contract to my company? The contracts, ladies and gentlemen, are not assignable. So if you want to put your property into an LLC name or a company name, when you come into the auction first thing Saturday morning, make sure you tell the registration clerk, I'm going to put it in my company name, XYZ LLC. They will put that on your record. So when the receipt comes out, it's going to say XYZ and your name below it and your address. If that's what you want to do. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. But we have to be consistent. It's a requirement of the parish. We have to be consistent with however you registered is how you need to sign the purchase agreement. If you want to take it in your personal name, that's fine. John Jones, that's it. You sign the contract as John Jones. Okay? So just remember that the contract is not assignable. Every so often we have folks that wake up a week after the auction and say, you know, gee, my financial guy told me I really should put this in an LLC. If you call the title company, you call us, unfortunately, we can't assign the contract. It's a requirement that we cannot go against. So please make sure if you're going to do those, any arrangements, you do that before the auction. You tell us before. We're going to ask you at registration when you come in on Saturday morning. So we want to make sure that you know about that. So not assignable on the contract. Okay? I must be doing a real good job, huh? Haven't had a question yet. All right. If I live next to an auction property and buy it, can I keep it as green space? Yes, you can. There's no requirement for you to do anything with the property, again, other than keep the grass cut, no code violations, things like that. So you can have it as green space, and as far as I can tell, you can keep that green space as long as you like. Okay? How many of you folks have a real estate agent who wants to represent you? No one? Oh, one? Okay, good. Yes, you can have your real estate agent represent you. They do need to register you with us, not the Saturday morning registration. It's just a little form that you sign and they sign, and they send it to us, and it has to be in, I believe, by Wednesday. Let me check and make sure that I get the right deal. I think it is Wednesday. Yeah. Wednesday, October 1st, 3 p.m. needs to be in our office. So if you have a realtor and they want to represent you, make sure they contact us for the correct form. It's on the webpage at stbernardauction.com. Download that, you sign it, they sign it, send it to us, and we'll pay them a 2% fee at closing, as long as they do all the things that are required of them. They need to come to the auction with you, help you bid, that type of thing. Okay? All right, folks, let's see, we're getting close. Are the properties subject to zoning? Now, folks, in your property, on the property list, the last column is the zoning of the properties as we know it. We've been given that by St. Bernard Parish. The majority of these are R1. We've got some R2s, some R3s. I believe one is an I. You obviously would be responsible for building or utilizing the property for whatever the correct zoning is. Now, if you've got a property that is right next to Judge Perez Drive and it should be commercial, you can apply for a variance for that. I can't guarantee that it'll happen, but it sounds like it makes sense to me, and if it makes sense to me, it should make sense to the council and the people who make those decisions. So you do have to adhere to the zoning rules and regulations. In other words, you can't park 18-wheelers on a residential lot. Okay, everybody knows that, right? You can't build a commercial building on a residential lot. So just please be aware that that you do need to adhere to the zoning regulations for that particular lot. Now, by the way, on your information here on the FAQs and on our website at stbernardauction.com, there is a link to the St. Bernard zoning page. to give you all the information you would need for to check on zoning. Okay. Again, how can I get more information on the auction? StBernardAuction.com and the SBPG.net, which is the St. Bernard Parish website, has additional information on what we're doing. Okay. This is my first auction. What should I do? As you see in the FAQs, we tell you to review your finances, determine how much you're able to spend, check out the values in the neighborhood, inspect the property, like we said, walk the property, drive by, look at the values in the area, call some for sale signs if you feel like it. Set a range of value or a limit that you need to stay, you'd like to stay within. Obviously, that is in your finances, that you can stay in that limit, and promise yourself that you're going to bid up to that amount. Okay. The bidding is going to go pretty quick. We're gonna probably sell. We have 150 properties to sell. We will probably sell a property every 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. Probably end up being every 3 or 4 minutes. Doesn't take a long time to sell them, and I don't want to keep you guys too long. And so it's going to go along relatively quickly. And what I'll tell you in the opening remarks is, if we go fast, we don't go that fast. We'll do a practice auction in just a moment. But if you don't get it and you can't hear what I'm saying or the auctioneer's saying, grab one of these guys that has a tie like this, buy the tie if necessary, and say, hey, where is this guy? How much is the bid I want to bid? Okay? And they will tell you, they'll stand next to you and they'll say, okay, he's at $3,000, you want to bid. He's at $10,000, are you ready to bid? And when you bid, they'll relay your bid to me very quickly, and so that we can move on from there. Okay? We talked about earlier. Arrive early to the auction site to register. Get to know the auction staff. Come in, sit down. We'll have the slideshow playing up there. You can ask us questions during the auction. Yes, go ahead.
Will the bidding go in order of the properties on the brochure?
Yes, sir. We will start at 201 and go up from there. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what else. We talked about get comfortable, relax, listen closely to the auctioneer. Folks, don't get nervous. Don't overthink this deal. It's not I know it's a big purchase, and most people have. How many folks have been to a real estate auction before? Okay. Most people that we run into, this is their first auction, and we understand that. We want you to be comfortable with us. We want you to understand what you're doing and what we're doing. We want you to have the confidence to raise your hand. And look, we understand it's sometimes difficult when there's 300 or 400 people in an audience for you to go like this. It's okay if you tell one of our guys, listen, as long as my glasses are off, I'm bidding. Okay, we don't do that a lot, but we can do that. Or all you do is nod your head, or you just wave this, or raise your hand and do that. I promise we're not going to sell you the Empire State Building for $1 million. Trust me. Okay, this is an easy process, and we want you to be comfortable with it, and with us for that matter. Don't be bashful. As we said, every auction we do, on the way out, somebody says, "Golly, I wish I would have bid on that property. I should have." Well, opportunity knocks only a few times in your life, folks. Now's the right time to do that. All right, now. Let me go to the next slide. We're going to do a practice auction, ladies and gentlemen. This is a property we just sold in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It was on the beach, as you can tell. It was waterfront. Kind of looks like St. Bernard, but I don't know. And we're going to sell that. This is imaginary money, and just think about it and dream a little bit that you have zillions of dollars and money is no object. Okay? And we're going to kind of show you what we do. And folks, in this auction, we opened the bidding at $350,000. At $350,000. Thank you. Not $375,000. At $375,000. $400,000. $650,000. I like it. $650,000. $700,000. $725,000. $750,000. At $775,000. $800,000. $825,000. At $825,000. $850,000. $875,000. $875,000. $900,000. $925,000. At $900,000. $925,000. $950,000. $950,000. $975,000. At $950,000. $975,000. One price. $975,000. $1 million. Thank you. At $975,000. $1 million.
Hey, on the wrong end of the island. $975,000. That's the one that the hurricane
The
comes.
wrong end of the island. Thank you very much. Next time, don't say anything. So, with high bidders here, $1 million.
This is more than we got.
This is more than we got.
Sell it again.
$1 million, and we say going once, going twice, last call, sold it right there. And then you raise your bid card and say, my bid card's number 9, sir. You don't have to say anything. We'll just take it from there, and that's it. About 2 or 3 minutes, right? It's very simple. It's easy, of course. And you get a bid confirmation brought to you. You give them your money, sign the deal, and go sign your purchase agreement, and that's pretty much it. It's a very quick, it's an easy process, and we promise not to sell you a pig in a poke. So, let me go backwards real quick. We talked about once you're the winning bidder, what do you do? Whatever you do, we've had people, as soon as they win the bid, they go, ah! Don't do that.
And they leave the building.
And they leave the building. Don't do that, please. We want you to be happy. Dancing in the aisles is okay. Screaming is okay. But just don't run away, because we need to find you so we can do the paperwork. So, and make sure that you sign your contract before you go home on auction day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's...
I'll give you one example. Example is number 238.
Okay.
Is an example of a corner lot on corner of Lindell and East Judge Perez Drive.
That's correct. That's why I said that.
Yeah. So it'd be an example. There may be others.
238, and it is zoned for residential. Is that correct? Today. It's zoned for residential, but it probably should be commercial. That would be up to you, right? So, if you get one of those, then you would apply for a zoning variance and go from there. By the way, the property that we just sold for $1 million, we got $770,000 at the auction.
You paid too much.
You paid too much. That's okay. It was play money. It was funny money.
I was using the power spot.
There you go. There you go. Question? Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Repeat the closing costs.
Repeat the closing costs. Okay. The closing costs are actually in your FAQs on page 3 of the FAQs, right in the middle of the page. $75 title search, $125 title and exam, $100 closing fee. So how much is that? That's $220. That's $300. Plus a title insurance fee, and that's a regulated rate, whether you, no matter which title company you buy it from, whether it's your brother-in-law or my brother-in-law or the guys we have working at our deal, it's the same price. Low end, I'm not even sure. What's a low end? 50,000 or less.
12,000. Below 12,000 is about $110.
Below 12,000 is about $110. So that would be an additional charge, and then there'd be a recording fee, and that depends upon, I think, how many pages and that type of thing. But it shouldn't be a whole lot. So you should be able to get into these properties at a reasonable fee. And believe me when I tell you, folks, we sell all over the country, and these are the cheapest closing rates we have seen, and we've been doing this for 30 years. Cheapest. So thank St. Bernard Parish because they got you a good deal. Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure I got the right answer, but do I need to bring the $300 for the fees and stuff on that day, or?
No, sir. No, sir. That's at closing.
$1,000.
Yeah, in other words, all the closing costs you pay to the closing attorney at the closing 30 days after the actual auction. The only thing you need to bring next Saturday is, if you go buy one lot, bring me a $1,000 cashier's check or cash. That's it. Yes, ma'am.
I understand about the LLC, but if it's going to be more than one individual's name, do you have to register them or just at the title?
No, in other words, if you've got a partner,
Yeah.
and you're going to buy it in both your names,
Yes.
the parish will allow you to add a partner, like your brother-in-law or somebody, a partner, you can do that.
Okay.
But that's not an assignment.
So I don't have to re-register just at the time of the
No.
title company telling whose name I want on it?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay? Question? Yes, sir.
So we're allowed to build a fence around the property?
You know, I don't,
On a vacant lot?
No, you can't on the vacant
If
lot?
it's adjoining to your property, that's to your property.
if it's adjoining your property, you can. If it's just out there hanging out by itself, you cannot. Okay. Yes, sir.
What about the mineral rights?
Mineral rights. being reserved by St. Bernard Parish, is that correct?
By law,
By law.
no minimum rights.
You can't fight the law, man. Yes, sir.
Is anywhere on past result, that last auction results?
I don't have those past results of the last auction.
Yeah. You mean specifically?
Well, so maybe, I don't know if I can go online and look at them, or
Yeah, it's a public record request, and you want to give me a call.
okay.
I'm going to do it officially, put it on there, but just to speak in general, we averaged, vacant lots went for about $6,700 on average. There's some really high and really lows in between.
Yeah.
And the structures were $47,000 average.
There's Kevin's phone number right there, 278-4310. Give him a call, and you can set that up. Question?
If the property is adjacent to your residence, are you permitted to add on to your house onto that lot after buying it?
You can, you have to re-subdivide your property into one. You can only have one structure per property.
Okay, well, who are you going to do that?
Community development.
Community development?
That's pretty much a slam dunk.
Yeah, that's,
So
It will be approved, is that an administrative?
The question was, if you buy the lot next to your home, and you want to add on to your home, you would have to re-subdivide. You'd have to join your two lots and make one. You'd see the Office of Community Development to help you with that, and should not be an issue. Question, yes, ma'am.
If you bought the property, how could you transfer that property over to a relative at some point if you didn't want it anymore?
After you go to active sale, you can do that.
Or could you sell it to someone?
Yeah, there's no requirement. There are no restrictions on resales.
You must take title first.
Yeah, you have to take the title first. You have to go to a closing first, and then a month later, if you decide you want to sell it to someone else, you are welcome to do that. Yes, ma'am. No restriction on resale.
Question, yes?
Yes, sir.
On a vacant lot, y'all gonna start the bidding at $1,000.
Yes, sir.
If nobody bids on that $1,000.
We'll start at 500.
Then, okay, so it'll fall, the price will fall.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
we're reasonable. Anybody else? Questions? Yes, sir.
Now there are double lots that they've made one. You can build in the center of that double lot?
If you guys have made a dual lot one, you can build right in the middle of it, and it's one lot?
One
Yes.
structure on one lot.
Right. There you go.
Little insider information, if you will, not really insider, but on these forms, that BER number, which is the second number that you look at on these things, if it starts with the number 4, that's a double lot. If it starts with a number 6, that means we took 3 lots that were adjacent, took the middle lot, gave half of it to one side and half to another, so that's a lot and a half. Anything other than those two, it's a single lot, it's the same as it was before we changed.
But the zoning
Can
is
you
the
say
same.
that
Yes.
again? Can you say that again?
Absolutely. The BER number, just as an example, second one on auction is 2002, the BER is 400154. That's a double lot on estimate. It was combined with the lot next to it.
Now, by the way, that's also reflected in the lot size
What about
on the other side.
Unfortunately, the label on that BER number
Is LLT.
on your package is LLT. It is the second column that Mr. Kevin
Right.
is.
That second column on your property list.
Yeah, we can. Oh,
But on this one, it's what it
it's.
says.
Yeah, that one says BER.
Yeah.
Yeah, we caught that one first.
Yeah.
Okay? Any other questions?
Let's go back to.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go back to the fence again.
Fence again?
You can't fence a lot unless you're buying the one next to you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm bidding on one, and I have a relative who lives in there. Do I have to put their name on it so we can put a fence around?
No. You're going to buy it, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
they said unless.
You don't live next to it?
No, they have a house, the lot's empty next to it. I'm gonna bid on the one next to them.
All right.
In order for us to fence it, so that we can both use it,
Well, are you going to make them a partner?
that's what I'm
They
saying.
must
Do I
be
have-
on the title.
Yeah, put them on the title
do I
and
have
you're
to put them
fine.
on the title?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as somebody lives next to the property.
Unless he lives next door, you can't fence it. I don't live next door. He lives next door.
That's okay.
Yes. Just make sure you get them on the title deed. That's all. Okay? Any other questions? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've explained it as well as I can do it, and we appreciate you being here. We hope to see you on October 4th. Bring on your friends and everybody else, and we've enjoyed it. Thank you for being here.